Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. Today we are going to look at all the camera gear that I have in my camera bag for 2019. So this is what it takes to make these YouTube videos. So let's get started. Hey, welcome back. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing for more videos like this. Let's jump into today's topic, that is the camera gear that I have in my camera bag. These are the equipments that I normally use to shoot video for YouTube. So let's start with the camera that I use mainly. This is the EOS R. So prior to EOS R, I had a Canon ATD, which is an APS-C camera, not a full frame. So I wanted to upgrade it to full frame, and this is what I got. So this is the EOS R that was released in 2018 with the Canon RF 35mm lens. I love this combination. It's so light. I can use it on my gimbal here. This is the DJI Ronin S. We will get to that. But this is my main camera to shoot videos. So right now I'm using a loaner, which is the 5D Mark IV full frame DSLR on a 85mm lens, and I'm recording the audio through a Rode shotgun mic right here. So that's my setup. So instead of the 5D Mark IV over there with the 85mm, I used the EOS R with the adapter to adapt the 85mm Canon EF lens on this camera. So that's my tripod setup that I normally use, and let me see if I can show you guys what that setup is. So as you can see, it's kind of pretty much ugly, but it doesn't matter. What all matters is the nice background here. Alright, so this is my main go-to camera for all kind of videos on tripod, handheld, and low light situation. It's 1.8, so it's pretty good, and it's a macro lens. So if I am taking a product photography, then I can just go so close to the subject and then take videos. So that's why I love this, and this is my main primary camera. So the next step is I always carry a spare battery that I can use with the Canon. I don't have any spare batteries for any of the cameras because this is the camera that I end up using the most. I recently wanted to get into a smaller camera, which is the Sony A6400. This is a APS-C mirrorless camera. Again, before the Sony, I had this Canon G7X Mark II. So this was my camera that I always carry because it's so compact, and when I travel I can use the flippy screen and take a selfie and pictures with my family. It's so easy to use camera, and I highly recommend that if you're just starting out in YouTube, this should do all the work for you. The reason I upgraded from the G7X Mark II, this is a point and shoot camera, to the brand new Sony A6400 APS-C mirrorless camera, was because when I used the Canon, I had to record the sound externally and then sync it up in post. So that's a lot of work. You always want to minimize your workflow and produce videos so fast. So that's why right now I'm planning to sell this and going to use this as my secondary go-to camera because it's almost the same weight and size structure as the Canon G7X Mark II. Slightly bigger, but it has more power, mic input, and many more features like color correction. You can use hyperlog gamma, S-log 2, different color profiles that's easy to do color correction, whereas with this there is no such thing as any logs. You have to pretty much use the standard that comes with it, and it's hard to color correct if anything goes wrong with this. So that's why I'm switching to the Sony A6400. The other reason why I had to get this in addition to the Canon main camera was I had to shoot some slow motions for my product reviews, and this one shoots only at 60 frames per second. So I was looking for something that can shoot 1080p 120 frames per second for that nice slow motion. So that's why I wanted to get this 6400. I did not want to get another full frame because it's going to be bulky. I wanted to basically have a camera that can shoot slow motion but can replace the Canon G7X Mark II. So that's why now this is my main B-roll secondary camera and also my vlogging camera. If I'm walking around, I'm gonna use this rather than the EOS R because it's so lightweight and it's easy to take with you everywhere you go because of the size and the structure. So recently for this I got a Sigma 1.4 16mm lens. I'm not gonna use it every day, but if I have to do some special planned recording, that's when I'm gonna use this. For any unplanned occasions, that I'm gonna use the kit lens, which is the 16 to 50 3.5 to 5.6 aperture lens, and it's like a pancake style, so it's very compact and easy to carry around, and it's almost as light as the G7X Mark II. So those are the two secondary cameras and the lens. And there is a 50mm prime lens that I use with the main camera here. So those are the cameras, and at the end of the line what I have here is the GoPros. These are different GoPros that I upgraded over the years. So when I do adventure stuff, that's when I go to the GoPro because it's so versatile. It can do almost everything all this camera can, but it does not do well in low light situations. So you cannot use it filming, when you're going out and dining out in the dark. So for adventure only, I use the GoPro. The GoPro is pretty much useful when you're traveling, and if you don't want to carry too much of a gear, you can put it in the pocket. You can go to beach, dive into water. You don't have to worry about water getting into the camera because it's waterproof. So you can actually even dive into certain meter and not worry about anything about water. If you're going to some waterfalls and want to capture picture, you can take the GoPro and it's gonna do its job. So recommend this for any adventure extreme situations. You will not be disappointed with this. For YouTube videos, sitting and talking videos like this, I normally don't use this because obviously it's gonna give a very wide video view and everything pretty much in the background will be in focus, so it won't be a nice experience for videos like this where we are just sitting and talking to the camera. So anyway, moving on. So that's what I use the GoPro for. On my left hand side, this is the Manfrotto mini tripod, which is pretty handy, and this thing moves and sticks into its place. It's pretty good with the compact cameras like the point and shoot, and also with the APS-C camera like the Sony mirrorless one, because it's so lightweight. It's easy to carry this tripod along with this setup. Mounts onto the base of the camera like this. You can adjust the angle and then you can start shooting. You can shoot like this or you can do selfie. With the 6400, the good thing is it has a flippy screen, so you can see yourself what you're framing, and that's pretty handy, and that's one of the reason I decided to go with the 6400. And Sony also had issues with the older models with overheating. With the 6400 they resolved that, so now it's all good. And this is the Rode Videomic Pro Plus. This is the latest version. It has a switch, but it's intelligent enough that when you attach it to the camera, it automatically turns on when the camera is on, and it turns off when you switch off the camera. So that saves some battery life, and you don't have to worry about thinking about if I turned it on or off. With the older generation of Rode, I always had problems where I always forget to turn on this or turn off. This one, the Rode Videomic Pro Plus, resolves that issue. So it's a peace of mind, again making the workflow easier, less thing to worry about, and start focusing on making videos. And the other thing that I use with the Sony camera is, because it's so small, I didn't want to put a big mic on top of the Sony, because the mic is gonna be obviously bigger than the camera itself. So I was looking for a smaller microphone, and what I decided to use is the Lav Mic, which is the Sony ECM-CS3 mic. It has a clip. It's a stereo mic, so I can just attach it onto the side of the camera and then pretty much use it as a lav mic. Usually when I'm using Sony, I'm shooting it like a handheld, talking to the camera, so this will do the trick for me. The next item on the list is the cell phone. Everybody has cell phone these days, but you cannot just use it handheld. You can, but if you wanted to take YouTube videos like this sitting somewhere, you need to have a tripod attachment where you can connect the phone and also connect the microphone on top of it. So this is something that I can attach to the tripod, but I rarely use this because I did not find it helpful using the iPhone as my video because of the space constraint. I don't have enough memory, and it's also not so easy to transfer. With the cameras, I can take the SD card, put it in the computer and transfer. With this, it's not that easy. This is a setup I have if I need to, but I generally don't use this as much as the main camera. Alright, so moving on to the right, I have the drone from DJI. This is the Mavic Pro. This is an awesome drone. I use it to give that perspective of where I am. I highly recommend DJI drones. They have multiple drones. You cannot go wrong with any of their drones. It's pretty much evolving as we speak, so I don't want to recommend just this one. You can look at DJI's website and pick the one that suits your need. But so far I have had this one and the DJI Spark, the smallest drone. So both I have used when traveling abroad, and I did not had any issues at the airport, or I did not had any issues flying at the hotels where I was staying. Alright, so we covered pretty much that. Apart from the main all these cameras, I have two gimbals. The first gimbal is again DJI's Osmo. This was the initial version before they released the current DJI Osmo Pocket. The Osmo Pocket is so small, it's almost less than the size of this tripod, but before that they had this, and this is 4K camera with the base attached. So I use this when I'm walking around, and if I'm standing somewhere far away and if I want to remote control the pan and the tilt, I can do this with this DJI Osmo. But this is a good lightweight setup if you want a 4K video with a gimbal attached to it. So the microphone is not great at all, so you need to have some way to attach your microphone. So I had to buy this arm extender, so where I can attach the phone as well as a adapter for the microphone that goes in here. So this is something that if you want a lighter, less weight setup and a steady gimbal shot, you can try the DJI Osmo or the Osmo Pocket, which is the latest version. Alright, so now moving on to the heavy setup, the main gimbal. This is the DJI Ronin S. I used the DJI Ronin S. Let me try to balance it. Give me 1 second. There you go, and lock it in place and it's all set. So the way that this works is, once you balance it, if you turn it up, it should stay there. If you turn it like that, it should stay there. So no matter the way you position it, it should stay like that. So once it does that, then you know the camera is balanced. So it takes maybe 10 minutes to do that. Once it is balanced, you can turn the camera on. All right, now the gimbal is on and it does its thing. So the good thing with the gimbal is it gives that nice steady shot. So if you are moving around, the gimbal does all the work and stabilize the footage. And the thing is, it's pretty heavy, so I wanted to use this DJI Ronin S along with the Sony A6400, but even with the Sigma heavyweight lens, it could not do pretty good job because it's so light. So I was not able to utilize the DJI Ronin much with the Sony A6400. So what I'm using now is the EOS R camera, and this is the right combination because the lens weight and the camera weight is perfect to balance it properly. And compared to other DSLR, the main 5D Mark IV or the 6D Mark II, I wouldn't say it's a lightweight, but it's pretty much usable because it won't make your arms tired in 10 minutes. Maybe in 15 minutes it will, but this is better than using it with some heavy 5D Mark IV cameras. And I love this combination when I'm doing low walking shots or when I hand it over to my wife. I don't have to worry about she moving around the camera so much because the gimbal does the job for me. Those are the main cameras that I have for today. All right, now it's turned off. I can just remove it. So it's pretty easy to attach it. Once you balance it, it's gonna remember. It has marking at the side. It always remember that, and it's easy to mount and take it out and use handheld. So those are my setup. And now the less obvious one, which I had this in my bag. I think I used it maybe once or twice. This is the Cisco Flip Video. So the good thing with this, it has a USB connector attached to it, inbuilt. So the way it works is you just turn it on from the side, one click, it turns on, and then basically you hit record with the red button in the middle. There is no other adjustment. It's like when you click on it, it starts recording. So that's the only thing you can do with it and stop recording. Obviously there's no memory card. I have this in my bag sometimes. Apart from all this, I always carry this battery adapter, Anchor USB. It's a portable battery, so it has two USB and an input mini USB to charge it. So I carry this, so if any of my equipment runs out of battery, I can charge it on the go. So that's all for my camera gear. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I'll be making a detailed review of each of these products. So if you are interested in watching that, consider subscribing to this channel. That way you'll get notified when I post those videos. So in the upcoming weeks, I'll be posting a detailed review, and when I use these equipments in what scenarios, those will be coming out, and you can keep watching that on this channel. So thanks for watching, and if you have made so far onto this video, don't forget to click on that subscribe button, which is right here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and bye.